Welcome back to another episode of the GSD Show. My name is Mike Arce, and today we're going to be having a behind-the-scenes episode of the GSD Show. As you guys know, we have several different types of shows here on the GSD Show. We've also added recently GSD how-to videos where I teach you exactly how to do something. If you haven't seen the last one, which is how to 10x your marketing, go back and watch it. And by the way, if you're serious about 10xing your marketing, you could not only watch that video, but give us a call at 480-567-9794, and we'll get you set up with that as well. And then this episode is a BTS, which stands for behind the scenes. So what you're about to see now, we're gonna leave this room, and we're gonna go into the other room, where I'm gonna have a meeting with my entire account manager team. We got about 15 people in that meeting. And these are the people that are running all the marketing and advertising campaigns for hundreds, thousands of studios throughout the entire world. And I'm gonna have a meeting with them and really talk to them about certain things that if their members knew how to do better, they'd be 10 times more successful in running their fitness studio with sales, with marketing, with advertising, and also debunking a lot of the issues that a lot of fitness studio owners think they have, because they're not really issues, they're just things they haven't learned how to overcome, and we're gonna talk about how to overcome that too. If you like this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and now let's leave this room and head over to the meeting room. All right, guys, so we're starting this meeting. The idea of this meeting and the mission of this meeting is to basically make sure that you understand all the different things that we can do to help member retention and also help our members get the most out of our program. So I've already talked individually with a couple of you guys. Alexa, you were one of them, where you were like, you know, sometimes I hear you talk to the members and I'm like, man, I really like the way you said that, and how can I be able to start saying it like that so they can see what I'm wanting to relay to these guys, and even for members. So today, actually, we'll kick off with that. I did 7 member interviews, like testimonials today for your members. So round of applause to you guys. That's freaking awesome. They were half-hour meetings each. I did from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. back to back. I think there was one break, so I did like 7 today. So that's really great. Everyone had really, really great things to say. Like you guys know, I spend the first like 20 minutes, 25 minutes just kind of asking them what I could do to help them, you know, what they got going on, what's their bottlenecks in their business, what's holding them back, and then I take like the last 5 minutes or so, and then I do like a member review so that we can put it up there and, you know, add more testimonials to our plate, right? And that obviously helps other people that are prospects make a decision on going forward with us. So today I learned a lot. I learned a lot about what these people need a lot of help on, and you guys are gonna be able to see I recorded all the member interviews, not just the last 5 minutes, but I recorded the entire 30 minutes. And I've gotten permission from these guys too to be able to post it in the Facebook group, so you'll be able to see them. But there's a few things that they were asking about that I definitely think they've heard from you guys, but they said they understood it a little bit better from me. And that could just be, I've said this 1,000 times. And I want you guys to be able to hear it the way I say it as well, so you guys can explain it better, because ultimately everyone's getting hurt if they don't get it, right? Sometimes people don't move forward with something, not because it's not the right thing or the best thing or smartest thing to do, but just because they didn't get it, and the fact they didn't get it made them uncomfortable. And now because they're uncomfortable, the unknown is scary, and they just don't do it. You know, we had one guy, Garrett, your guy. You know, it was funny. I got on the phone with him. I immediately thought this was going to be a bad call. I'm not going to say who it was, but do you know who I'm talking about already? Very casual, relaxed, you know, cursed a little bit on the phone type of guy. Yeah. So I get on the phone with him, and I'm like, so how are things going? He goes, they're all right. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. I said, okay, well, hey, I appreciate all right. What do we have to do to make it good? What do we have to do to make it great? He's like, I don't know what else you could do, man. I'm doing everything. And I go, well, why'd you say all right? You confused me right now. Is it all right or is it great? He's like, it's all right. And it was like, it was a weird vibe for a little bit. And then I basically just kind of started going off, and I go, what could be better? If there's one thing that could be better where you couldn't resist saying good or great, what would it be? And he goes, I wish Garrett would stop upselling me all the time. I go, what do you mean? He's like, he's selling me every freaking call, man. It's starting to get annoying. I'm like, why aren't you buying this stuff? Can you afford it? You're doing good. I hear you're doing really well. And he's like, yeah, I know, man. But it's like, oh, man, I'm already doing good. I already told him I'm good. And so I said, well, why don't you tell me what you think Garrett should do? As far as how often should he reach out to you? When can he bring it up to you? He goes, when I ask him. I go, got it. So if Garrett hears about something that could change your business, he won't tell you about it unless you ask him about the thing you don't know about. Is that right? And he goes, all right, Mike, what should I do? And I said, I'm glad you asked. By the way, I think he's doing YouTube in Waze now. So you need to get him on that, like today, because he's ready to go. Say, hey, Mike said you were open to the idea of me bringing up YouTube in Waze now. He'll probably be annoyed at first, but he'll get it. But ultimately, the idea is they should do it. And I told him the truth. I said, hey, look, we've tested Snapchat ads. it worked for like 1 or 2 people, kind of, for a little while, and then it didn't work for pretty much anybody else ever. We tested out AdWords in the past. It works great for some other industries. If they're fitness, straight up search, it's a little more difficult. You're paying a lot more per lead, and they're shoppers, right? Because they're literally, they're typing in what they want, and then there's a whole page of options. They're shopping them all. And then I said, we tested Pinterest, didn't work for really anyone. My point is, I tell you this because we have many things that we want to sell, but we will not sell anything that doesn't bring good results. You understand what I'm saying? He goes, yes. And I said, so what we're selling you is we're selling it you for both of our benefits. I win because we are increasing revenue, just like you should be doing in your business, but you win because you're increasing more revenue than we are, because I can't sell you Waze more than 1 time per month, but that Waze can get you way more members. You understand what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, I get it. I was like, same thing with YouTube, which brings me to the thing I wanted to bring up. I actually was able to give this example twice when people were asking about familiarity in YouTube. He's like, well, YouTube, does that thing even work? He goes, can you even get localized? He didn't even know you can get localized on it. So I go, what do you mean you get localized? Yeah, of course, I can go right in your radius. I go right where I want to be, and I can go female, I can go certain interests. I can even just retarget people. In fact, we could put a pixel on your landing pages where anybody that you've already paid to get their attention on Facebook or Instagram, now that we know they've already taken interest, landed on your landing page, we can now hit them on YouTube as well. And we could stay in front of them over and over. We don't know why they didn't make the move. It could have been their baby started crying down the hall. They had to attend to that. Next thing you know, they came back, they were out of it. But later on, here we go. He's like, that makes a little more sense. And I said, well, on top of that, man, I mean, and I gave the steakhouse example. I think I've given it to a couple of you guys, I'm not sure, but the example I gave is, let's say you guys like, to go out and eat steak every once in a while. Well, if you like to go out and eat steak every once in a while, at the end of the day, the steakhouse you're gonna choose is heavily gonna be dependent on what you feel about that particular brand. That's why we like Yelp and all that stuff so much, right? How many of you guys, Yelp makes a lot of your decisions when you choose a restaurant, especially if you're not in a town near you, right? Okay, so I want you to imagine that you get to choose a steakhouse, right? And then you got 2 options. You got Ruth Chris, you got Dominic's, you got Capital Grille, you got these places you've heard of before that are offering free appetizer and dessert for anybody on Valentine's Day. Or you have this other option, Felipe Steakhouse, you never heard of before. I just made that up, unless there is one. But Felipe Steakhouse, and they got the same offer. Raise your hands if you guys would probably choose Ruth Chris or Dominic's or somebody you've heard before. Raise your hand if that's true. Raise your hands if you think you choose Felipe. Yeah, you 2 would. Now look at the room. That's okay. Now what do you got? Hey, look, here's the deal. 2 people chose it out of a room of what? What do we have, 20 people in here? So who do you want to sell to, the masses, or you want to sell to the rare birds? Let those guys be the rare birds. But I want to sell to the group, right? So at the end of the day, what I told these guys is YouTube, Waze, we're getting your company, you're getting your name, we're getting your brand out in front of people. What that ultimately does is it helps the lead generation department. Now on Facebook, now on Instagram, it's not, oh, look, this company, this random company is running an offer for a free week. It's, oh, that company is running an offer for a free week. It's 2 different things, right? Oh, this random steakhouse is offering free desserts and appetizers for Valentine's Day. Or, hey, Dominic's is offering 2 different things. You guys see the difference? Yeah? So if you guys want to have better conversion rates on the Facebook and the Instagram side, you guys have to find a way to create more familiarity. And guess what? YouTube costs way less than Facebook and Instagram to get in front of people. You guys know that. Waze costs way less money to get in front of people. Why? Because no one else is doing it. Everyone's doing Facebook and Instagram now. Even the late adopters have caught on. Everyone's doing it. The people that wait to the last minute to take a chance on anything are now on Facebook and Instagram running ads. Not just fitness studios though. Everyone. So the fitness studios you guys are running ads for, they're not only competing with the fitness studios in the area that are running ads, they're competing with everyone else that wants to target that 33-year-old mom that lives 2 miles away. The dentist, the hair salon, the nail salon, the tanning salon, the school, the preschool, the martial arts school, the restaurants, right? Everyone's targeting that person, but there's only 1 ad per 5 posts. So the real estate becomes thin, and that's why lead costs are going up, because the late adopters are finally coming in. So how do we get the most out of this? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the impression cost goes up. If we're able to get higher conversion rates per impression, the lead cost still goes down, right? So we need more people to opt in. So how do we get that to happen? Well, we all agreed on the steakhouse example. It's the same thing. We want to be able to get these brands to be familiar to the person viewing that ad so that they're more likely to click on that ad and take that next step. YouTube and Waze can dramatically help with that. Even stuff we're doing on Facebook and Instagram sometimes too, right? Like somebody goes, we're at capacity. It doesn't matter, keep running, but let's do some more ad stuff. Let's do some branding stuff. What else do you have going on? You have any events happening, right? But with YouTube, 80% of the ad space on YouTube remains unsold. The reason Facebook and Instagram is so expensive is because we're already at capacity. It's supply demand at this point. You're competing. It's all bidding. YouTube, 80% of the ad space remains unsold. So you're talking like, I think what was the math? It was like a penny for 11 views. I think that's what it came out to. It's like a penny for 11 views and average like 9 or 11 cents per true view, meaning they watched 30 seconds or more or clicked on the ad to actually see the next step. Like one of those two things happened. They could have watched 28 seconds and skipped and they wouldn't have got charged. You as an advertiser wouldn't have got charged. So you're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views for bucks. That's it, right? And okay, well, what'd I get out of that? Yeah, man, even if you get a couple leads out of that, that's good, but don't look at it that way. Look at it as down the road, 3, 4, 5 months from now, you are actually a brand that is running an ad versus some Joe Schmo gym, some, you know, what's that, Average Joe? Like,
and the championship match is underway. Average Joe's versus the Globo Gym Goliath.
Average Joe studio running an ad. No one cares about the Average Joe. They don't even see that ad sometimes. You get what I'm saying? So that's ultimately the goal. And so when I was talking to, I don't want to say his name, but he knows if he's watching because I told him to start watching more of them. He watches a lot of them. He watches all the training centers, his whole team. By the way, this guy said his whole team, he's going through the training center. He said the sales stuff has actually changed his business. So that's really great. And he watches all the GSD episodes. One guy, when I talked to him today, this guy, I started the phone call. I go, hey man, how's it going? He's like, man, this is weird. I go, why? He's like, we mow the lawn together. And now I literally looked out my window. I was like, is this my neighbor? Like, what's he talking about? And then he goes, yeah, man, I have 2.5 acres and I just sit on my lawnmower and I just roll and it takes me an hour and a half and I listen to 2-3 episodes every time I mow the lawn with you. And I go, whoa, that's amazing. I haven't mowed the lawn in a while, so thanks for taking me for the ride. But he goes, dude, I get so much value out of your GSD show and your LRVT stuff. And he had some questions as well. So interesting enough, there were a lot of people that they're involved in some things, but they're not involved in everything. Some people didn't even know about everything. Cool thing is we've got a lot of stuff to offer, right? We offer more than any other company out there. The challenge with that is, for you guys, how do you know who knows what? And maybe you guys forget that this guy, okay, he does LRVT, he does GST show, but he has no idea about the Facebook group. He has no idea about the conference. He has no idea about the sales bootcamp. He has no idea about the booklets. And that's part of your guys' job, is to really understand where your members are at and make sure they use all those resources. One guy literally asked a question that I answered in the Facebook group yesterday. Actually, 2 people. But now when I talked with her, she goes, yeah, you know what? I'm just getting really burnt out on the sales side. I love the training stuff. I could train people all day. And so she was a little concerned about her being cut out for operating a studio. And you'll see in the video, I'll share it with you guys, but what I told her is, I go, you've got to create a reality that only exists in your head. And it's this weird reality that you guys don't know this, but I've got scenarios going on in my head that, like, I've got a little world happening in like so many different compartments that don't even make sense. So I'll give you an example. And this is how you can change your perspective on pretty much anything. I went to, where the heck was it? I think it was Vegas last year. I was telling Ra, I told you about this story. I was flying and I saw, you know when you get to watch movies on the plane, you get to pick. And so I picked the movie. It was A Star Is Born or something like that, right? Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, and total, rom-com thing. But I'm watching and I started hating on Bradley Cooper immediately. This guy was looking at Lady Gaga in such a cool way, and I was like, dude, I don't even compare. I haven't looked at Marjan like that in a while, but I feel like that about Marjan, but I feel bad that Marjan doesn't get that from me. And so I told Rob this first thing I did. I was like, all right, I'm getting off this plane and I'm going to create a reality show that no one knows exists. It's just in my head. And in my reality show, I want every girl, everyone's watching in the entire world, I want every girl that's watching to immediately want to elbow their husband and go, see, why can't you be like that? And I want every guy that's watching to get inspired like I just did with Bradley Cooper and be like, damn, I want to be like this guy. I can step my game up. And so I went home, I started hugging Marjan harder, I gave her a kiss while she's like cooking, I would massage her shoulders, I tell her how pretty she looks, I do all the things, because in my head I'm like, the world's watching, I'm gonna create haters, or I'm gonna inspire. One of the two is gonna happen. And you know what? It was totally fake and inauthentic in the beginning, right? Because that's not my way. I normally am just in my mission, I'm going to my car, I'm doing whatever I gotta do, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, the world's watching. Hey, babe. And I go over and I give her a hug and I ask her about her day and what she's doing. Totally not what I felt like doing. I just knew that that's what I had to do in order to create this character. What do you think happened 3 weeks in? What do you guys think happened? Yeah, I just became that. I was inauthentically the person I wanted to be, and then 3 weeks later, I like that's my flow. Now I can't even help it. I just walk up. I feel like giving her a hug. I feel like giving her a kiss. I feel like laying down with her. I feel like watching TV with her. I feel like doing all the stuff that normally I'd go choose work over. I'd do some other stuff, right? So I tested that, and then with work, did the same thing. Kelsey and I were getting along, right? My EA, and I was having a hard time with her, and I was like, okay, new reality show. I want to be the boss that everybody wants to work for, and I want to be the CEO that every other CEO watches and goes, holy shit, I need to step my game up. And I'm like doing everything. The way I'm communicating with Kelsey, the way I'm calling her over, little things I'm voxering her about, telling her how good of a job she's doing, giving her challenges, all this stuff. My relationship with Kelsey got much stronger. This is how I work. And guys, just so you know, those are 2 realities. I got like 27 reality shows in my head at all times. At the gym, like at the gym, I'm The Rock. Everyone's watching my stories on Instagram going, I need to work out like this guy. Like, but I'm just by myself at the tricep machine, right? No one's watching shit. But I've got all these realities. And so I was like, look, if you want to, she's burnt out by sales. That's what she said. I go, you got to create a reality show. I go, how would you act if the whole world was watching you sell? She's like, oh, I'd be on fire. I was like, yeah, you work harder, right? Because she's competitive and she wants people to see her at her best, right? I told her, I was like, when you're selling, the whole world's watching you. Even if you don't sell anything today, I want them to be inspired by your resilience, by your 0 F's given for not making a sale and excited for tomorrow to go back in and go get it. And so she's like, I could totally do that. I was like, no, you can't. You got to play that game. You have to have an audience. You've got to know that everyone's watching. When everyone's watching, you are your best. And she's like, okay, I can do that. And then I was like, also on top of that, when you do training, it's a real challenge for you, isn't it? Because you've got new stuff happening. You got Cindy over here. What motivates Cindy does not motivate Jane, right? Cindy's got different things get her going in the workout than Jane. And I said, well, when it comes to sales, you get the lead. Maybe they answer the phone. A lot of times they don't. So it feels like all the time, right? She goes, yeah. And I go, and then if they do, they answer the phone. A lot of times they don't book, but it feels like all the time, right? She goes, yeah. I go, and then sometimes they don't show. And then sometimes they don't buy, but it feels like all the time, right? It feels like enough is enough. She goes, yeah. I go, because you're focusing on that. You hate that part. I go, so you gotta create this world where I'm gonna be the absolute best salesperson on the planet. Well, what does the best salesperson know? And how do I become that person? And so I did a role play with her. Now, you know, every person I did a role play with today on how they answer the phone did it the wrong way. Every single one. Who knows how to role play and answer the phone the right way? Who knows how to do it? You do? Okay. So let's role play. Ready? So phone rings. Yeah, phone rings.
At my studio, yeah.
Yeah, Celeste Studio.
Okay. Thank you for calling Celeste Studio. This is Celeste. Can I get your name, please?
Yes. Okay. Everyone I asked, they said, man, I just have a hard time because everyone wants to know price. Everyone wants to know price. First thing they want to know is price. So I go, how do you answer the phone? Hi, thank you for calling. This is John. How can I help you? The other one, hey, thanks for calling. This is Brooke. What are you doing? You're giving them the leadership role. You're literally saying, here you go. You tell me what you want out of this call. I'll just kind of react to whatever you got going on. That's what you're saying, right? Okay, so when we role played, I said this. I did the exact same thing. I said, okay, here we go. Thank you for calling. This is Mike. How can I help you? And she goes, yeah, I want to know. Can you tell me what your pricing is? And I said, okay, pause. Let's do it again. Thank you for calling, and you role play with me because it's going to be the same way. That's how it works. Okay. Thank you for calling F45. This is Mike speaking. Master your name, please.
Mackenzie.
Hey, Mackenzie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Mackenzie, are you a member of ours?
I am not.
Oh man, it's okay. Do you live around the area?
Yeah, I live about 5 minutes away from you.
Is that how you heard of us, or did you hear about us some other way?
No, I saw you guys on Facebook.
So on Facebook. Okay, yeah, we do some stuff on Facebook. That's great. Mackenzie, just in case we get disconnected, what's the best phone number for you?
612.
Got it. Perfect. Sounds great. Do you know anybody that works out here, Mackenzie?
I think maybe one of my coworkers, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
No big deal. No big deal. Well, since you're so close to the area, I'd love to have you come in for a free workout. But really quick, what's the purpose of your call today?
Just calling to get started, so I guess I'll come check it out.
Great. What did she not ask me?
Price.
Yeah. You forgot that's what we were even role playing, didn't you? See, what happens is they have a plan. That prospect for that fitness studio has a plan. The plan is, step one of the plan, you will answer in some way that gives them the role. Thanks for calling. This is Mike. How can I help you? Thanks for calling. This is Mike. How can I help you? Right? Like one of those ways. That's normal. Who trained them on that? Every company they've ever called in their whole life. They didn't go through a training. They just do what everyone else in the world does. Doesn't mean it's right. right? So with this case, plan is they're going to say something like that, and I'm going to tell them I want to ask them about the pricing. As soon as I go, may I ask your name, please? Oh, well, threw off my whole plan. Mike, that's it. Plan's over. I don't even know what's happening. I'm now just responding to what you got going on. I'm now in control. I've asked 7 questions. You know, I asked her 7 questions, and how many times did I say your name? This is important. Awesome, Mackenzie. Well, how'd you hear about us? Oh, great. Do you know anybody that works out here, Mackenzie? Great. Right? Now you hear it. But you want to say their name every time. By doing this, you're establishing that leadership role. And now what happens is when I asked her, what's the purpose for your call? Because I asked, she didn't ask a question. She made a statement. She said, yeah, I just want to know more about your membership options or membership or workout or something like that, right? You didn't say, can you please tell me or can you tell me? You said, I want to know this. Hey, great. That sounds fantastic. So what did you say? So which verse for your call today?
I wanted to come work out here, so I guess I'll just come in then because you invited me in.
Perfect. That sounds great. Well, we got classes today at 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Either one of them work better for you?
Sure, 6 o'clock works.
6 o'clock works. Now, just so I know, 100% you can make 6 o'clock? Yes? Is there anything short of like a natural disaster that would get you to not come here at 6 o'clock today?
No.
All right, awesome. And I know it's funny, but Mackenzie, the only reason I asked you that is because there's limited seating in the class. So I'm going to lock a spot for you, which means even a member wouldn't be able to get that spot if you don't show up, right? Or if you do show up, either way. So 100% you can make it, yes?
Yep.
Great. I'll be the one waiting for you. I'll have a nice ice cold bottle of water. Don't even worry about it and eat whatever you'd like today because you're going to burn it off anyway. Sounds good?
Okay.
Yeah? Excited?
Yep.
Sounds great. I'm going to lock you. What's a good email address for you, too? I'm going to go ahead and send you a confirmation on that.
Mackenzie@loudriver.com.
Perfect. I'll send you a text as well. If you have any questions, this is my cell phone. Feel free to give me a call back at this number as well. Is that cool?
Yep.
Yes. Any questions? Anything changes? Give me a call. Mackenzie, I'm so excited to see you. Are you excited?
Yep.
I got my hand up in the air right now. You can't see because we're on the phone, but can you put your ears up and just high five me? Yeah. Did you hear it? I felt it. I'll see you later, Mackenzie. 6 o'clock. That's it. Done. How do you feel at that? Are you excited to come in?
Yeah.
Is it kind of fun already? It's weird. Weird's fun though, right? You don't want the same thing that everyone else is doing because then I can cancel on that. This is different. So encourage your members to really go through. We have whole sales trading on that. You guys know that, right? They should be answering the phone that way because no one should get the question, you know, how much you charge right off the bat. And yeah, like, you know, you can overcome that later on, but there's 2 ways to play tic-tac-toe. You can play tic-tac-toe where you win at that last move, or you know that move where you make an X and you know no matter what they do, it's over. Like you're just waiting for it. Yeah, well, you do that. It doesn't matter what you do. Here we go. There it is. Pick it. Good. Win. It's the same thing. We just want to win it earlier on, okay? So make sure they're going through that stuff. Another thing, there's a guy that I talked to today. He's getting really good results. His revenue, he said, has increased month over month. I said, that's fantastic. What are you spending on marketing now? He goes, same amount. I go, why are you doing that? He goes, well, you know, I don't know, it's just what we're doing. I go, no, that's what you're doing. That's not what I'm doing. What are you doing? Why are you spending the same amount? You got more revenue. And he's like, I don't know. And I looked at him and he was a pretty fit guy. I go, you look like a pretty fit guy. You work out? He goes, yeah. And I go, great. If you work out this month and you get stronger, you lifting the same amount of weight next month or you lifting it up? He goes, I'm lifting more weight. Why? Because I can. Exactly. And then what happens? If you lift more weight, what happens the next month? I can lift more weight. Right. Why? Because I can. What happens if you lift the same weight? Nothing happens. Right, exactly. Same thing's going to happen to you. Right now, it's great that your revenue is growing month after month, but no matter what, doesn't matter who you are, what company, in what industry, it doesn't matter, you will have attrition. Do you guys agree? Eventually, he will not be able to outsell his attrition. Because if he's only getting, let's say, 15 more members a month, well, if he's only got 100 members and he's got, let's say, 5% attrition, okay, no big deal. He's still adding more members. But as that goes up, he's eventually going to get to a point where the same percentage of members lost on a higher number of members is going to equal the amount of new members that he gets in. He is going to hit a plateau. Plateau sucks. It sucks in the gym. It sucks in life. It sucks in work. It sucks everywhere. But he's going to hit a plateau because he's not lifting more even though he added more muscle. The muscle in this case is revenue. He's got revenue. He's got muscle now. Get him to spend more of that revenue because he is going to eventually hit a plateau if he doesn't use a portion of his earnings in order to reinvest it, right? What do the best investors do? Do the best investors just make their first, like if they sell a house or if they're getting passive income, do they just take that income and then that's it? That's it? That's their earnings for the rest of their life? They did it? No. They're going to take a percentage of that, reinvest it back in, get the same type of return. Reinvest a portion of that back in, get the same return. And then over time, what happens? Yeah, I think you guys, Warren Buffett, right? That guy's done it better than anyone. And so you take your members, it's the same thing. Great. You had 100 members when we met you, and you had $1,500 ad spend or $1,000 ad spend. Now you've got 50 more members. Explain to me why you can't spend double that now. Oh, I can. I know. Like, let's do it. Like, your job is to keep growing. My job is to keep pushing you. And if you're uncomfortable, that's okay. When your members get uncomfortable, you push them anyway. I'll do the same here. Okay? The booklets. How many of you guys know if your members have read the booklets or not? Fitness marketing secrets, fitness selling secrets, any of those? Okay. All they got is $5. Fitnessmarketingsecrets.com, fitnesssellingSecrets.com. It's $5. If you guys like them, you value them, we'll send it out for free. It is an incredible book. It gives them exactly how and why the best fitness studio owners look at marketing, look at sales, and what they're executing. It's going to take them an hour to read it. I wrote it so that it can take 1 hour or less to read. They can be done before lunch is over and have a really new understanding of sales. And more importantly, they can give it to their employees, and their employees can be better at sales. A big problem right now, I talked to him, said the same thing. He goes, man, I just can't get my employees to sell. They're just saying they're not salespeople. And I said, you know what? The same thing happened with Kelsey when I first brought her on board, and I told her I wanted to do sales. She's like, I don't want to do sales. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like to sell. I'm not salesy. That's not my thing. I don't do that. I don't like pressuring people. I don't like pushing people. What? You don't even know what you're talking about. You're working so hard on selling me that you're not a salesperson. I'm convinced I'm sold. Good sale. That was the best sale you've ever done. You tell me you're not a salesperson. That was the best sale you've ever made. In reality, the reason she didn't like it is because the rest of the world told her that they don't like it. And so she went with the rest of the world. Right? And then I did this post. I quoted this guy. I can't remember the name of the guy, but it's one of the coolest quotes where it says, was it the typical man or the reasonable man just does whatever the world's doing, right? He bends to the world. And the unreasonable man makes the world bend to him. Therefore, in order to see any type of progress, it can only be made by the unreasonable man. Does that make sense to you guys? It can't be made. If you're just doing what the world does, there will be no progress in the world. It's literally made by people that will go against the grain. And so when you see your employees that they're like staying in their comfort zone, whether it's McKenna, I'm not a morning person, Kelsey, I'm not a salesperson, as soon as that kicks in, that's when you got to challenge it. And sometimes you got to hear it in yourself. When you say it, you got to go, holy shit, I just defined myself and who I am for no freaking reason. I got some stats to back it up, but I just basically said, I'm so weak, I can't be anything but what I've just decided. That's it. That's my life now. That's BS. We don't hire weak people here. In reality, there's no weak people, really very few weak people, if any, in the fitness industry either. These guys are pretty motivating people as well. So what I told him is I go, Kelsey, the reason she didn't like it is because she didn't understand it. And she assumed it was this when it's not that. The best salespeople aren't doing what cheesy salespeople do. Cheesy salespeople do the stuff like, you know, if you drink Starbucks, you do, that's $5. I mean, if you $5 a day, that's $150 a month. That's your membership right there. All you got to do is stop drinking coffee. Don't tell him what to do with their money. He wants to drink coffee. Let him drink coffee. No one's going to tell you what to do with your money. I promise you this guy's spending on stuff that doesn't matter. And let him figure that out. Don't you tell him what he should do, but that's what a lot of these studio owners are doing. And then they think that's what sales is because that's what they hate when someone does it to them. Now Kelsey goes in and she does sales training. She loves it. She made 2 sales this week. One for $2,000 for me to go do a talk, one for $10,000 for me to do a talk. And she calls me up. I'll let you listen to the Vox show later. She's like, oh my God, I just made a sale. You should see how I did it. It was great. And I did this and I did that. Yeah, she likes it now. Sales is an addicting thing. It's like a drug. The first time you make a sale, it's like the craziest thing. Go ahead and say yes when I say it. So what do you think? You want to do it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. I think we have an agreement somewhere. Hold on. Really? Like, that's what everyone's first sale's like. Like, oh, you said yes? And then after that, it's so exciting. Now it's like, okay, I want to get better. Where's the agreement? Okay, now here's the agreement. What do you mean by this? Let me find out. And then little by little, it gets better and better and better. It's great when you sell the right way, though. When you do the Starbucks thing, that's when it sucks because you can see yourself in the prospect squirming and it sucks. People don't buy what they need. They buy what? What they want. People do not go to the doctor as often as they should, most often, right? Most people do not go to the dentist as much as they need. Do not go to the chiropractor. Do not get massages as often as they need to get them. Do not get the vitamins and take the vitamins as often as they need. Do not buy the vitamins. Do not do anything. Do not buy organic or do not buy the healthier options. Do not cook. They don't do a lot of the stuff that they actually should be doing because need doesn't matter. They care about what they want. So that's why they got the flat screens in every room. That's why they got the car that's $40,000 when they could have done with one that was $15,000. That's why they got the Apple Watch that doesn't even do anything. It sucks. Literally, like, I got it. Don't even tell me it doesn't. If you're gonna tell me it does anything that really impacts your life, you just were sold harder than I was. And I was sold pretty hard, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we all got this stuff that really doesn't make a big impact in our life. They'll go to lunch and spend $80 on sushi. It's hard not to these days, right? And that food's gone. That made no impact. 45 minutes afterwards, that was the last impact that made, right? And then it's over. But they wanted that sushi more than they wanted the $80 in their pocket. They wanted that Netflix membership more than they wanted that $12 or $14 that's in their pocket. And they'll want that car more than they want that debt to not be on their credit. You get what I'm saying? So with the membership, same thing. We got to get them to understand with sales, it's really just about saying you want this membership more than you want that money. Whether it's in your pocket or whether it's on your credit card, whatever it is, you want this more than you want that. And a big mistake that a lot of people are making right now is they're listening to people that don't know how to sell, tell them how to sell. And I hear people saying stuff like, you should do prescription selling. You guys know what I mean by prescription selling? It's like what doctors and dentists do. You don't tell them, as the sales guy says, you don't tell them, you know what, you should really look at getting this surgery. What do you think? No, surgeon goes, you need to get the surgery. It's really important. And so I do it. You need to do the same thing with fitness. No, you don't. Because they're looking at all their friends that don't work out, no one's dying. Right? You're going to have few people that actually come in that need to work out to survive. Most of the prospects that are walking in, what do they want? They want to look better. They want to, that's the most of it. They'll feel better. If they say feel better, they just said that because they're not being egotistical. In reality, look better is probably number one for most people, and feel better is an awesome secondary benefit. Would you agree? That's what they want. So the prescription selling doesn't work. The desire selling is what actually works. Even selling away from pain, that can work here, but then understanding what they actually want, what they want to fit into, because that is what they will want more than the money in their pocket. They don't care about a membership. What the hell do I care about a membership? I care about the results. We got to live in that future pace, right? So make sure that they're paying attention to that as well. We talk about that in the sales training. Not everyone's really doing that. Once you start doing that, you really start liking the sales process a lot more because now you're talking about the future. Everyone loves talking about the future if it's good, right? Another thing I want to talk about is budget. We'll even deal with this here in sales. How many of you guys have dealt with people saying it's out of the budget? It's out of the budget. That's the best thing you can hear. That's when you know you can sell them. Whether it's you, whether it's your fitness studio owner that has a prospective member that comes in and says it's out of the budget. Why do you think it's good when a person says, it's not in my budget? Huh?
They want to make more.
They want to make more? Yeah, but if a person says to you, it's not in my budget. Yeah.
No, if they have a budget in the first place, it means they spend uncontrollably.
They created a budget because they need something in place to control their urges to spend shit. They overspend. They literally had to create a budget to control themselves. They're giving money to everyone. They're spending money here, they're spending money there, and somebody like Rob maybe came to them and goes, hey man, we gotta stop spending here. Somebody like Steven goes, dude, you gotta stop spending here. I've got budgets because I got a problem. I will buy if somebody walks in and goes, hey, we can do this, and I'm like, yeah. They go, yes, it's gonna be this much money. Yeah, that sounds good, it makes sense, let's do it. And then if I don't have a budget, I'm in trouble. The cool thing is if I do have a budget, it's even better. Because now the guy goes, okay, great. This is a person that likes to spend. This is a person that will overspend. The cool thing is everyone figures it out. We are not putting anybody on the street. Would you agree? How many of you guys bought something because you really wanted it more, even though you knew it was out of budget, and you bought it anyway, and life didn't change? Raise your hands. Okay, how many of you guys perfectly had just enough money to cover all your bills, and then something happened, like your car broke down or AC or something, and it cost you $500, $600, $700. Pet got sick, you have to take him to the vet, and next month, nothing changed. Raise your hands. Yeah, cool thing about human beings, we're still on this planet because we figured it out better than the dinosaurs. We just figure shit out. We'll find a way to survive, right? And so we're not putting anybody in the broke house here. Everyone here is not only going to not be broke, but they're going to have more money. I need to think about it. It's another good one. I need to think about it. Hey, that's awesome, man. I like thinking about stuff sometimes too. Is that kind of the process you have? Yeah, tell me about that process. How long have you had that in place? I've had it in place for, a couple years. That's really great. That's really great. How's it work for you? It's worked okay. Yeah, tell me about the best time it worked for you. When I need to think about it and you thought about it for a certain amount of time, tell me about the best time it worked for you. I can't think about it. Well, let's put it this way. How long do you typically need to think about something? Something like this. How long do you need? What's a reasonable amount of time? I don't know. Give me about a week. Yeah? That's awesome, man. What's going to happen between now and a week that's going to go, man, that's why I should do it? I don't know. I just come up with an idea. Okay. Here's what I think. I think your process works really well. But when's the last time you went outside of that process? When's the last time you said, this makes sense, I'm going to do it right now? I never do that. Let's give that a shot today. I know it sounds crazy, but I need you to trust me on this. If I'm wrong, I'll make it up to you some way, somehow. But change up your routine and let's see if it works a little better than the old one. You want to give that a shot, or you want to still stick with what you've been doing over and over and over? It's a hard thing to do, but you got to really it's about how you say it. Me and Kevin Hart, two totally different people. I can memorize word for word his scripts, word for word, and I can go up there and I promise you I won't get the laughs. And it's not because I'm 5'1". You could shrink me to 5'1", it might be funnier, but it won't be as funny. His delivery is on point. He's done this over and over and over. We don't know, is that Netflix special you see of Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or any of those guys? That is after they've tested and got booed and bombed off stage like 100 times at local clubs. Did you guys know that they do that? Raise your hands if you knew that they do that. You know Dave Chappelle's been booed off the last one like 30 times? He keeps going to local clubs. And then what you see is the final rehearsed version over and over. That's why role play is so important. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, the delivery, the timing, the tonality, the spacing, the silence, the question. All that is part of it. Some of the best actors, what they do is, this one guy was talking about it, I posted in the Facebook group, but he said, I don't like to rehearse my scripts in private or how I need to say it in person. I rehearse my scripts like playing football in the back with somebody else, throwing the football and just saying the scripts over and over for the movie. Because I need to be able to say the script unconsciously. Because once I can get it down unconsciously, then I can work on the emotion. Because the words just come, I know what the words are. Now it's about how do I bend the words. So for example, saying the alphabet, right? I can say the alphabet in 30, 40, 100 different tonalities, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? Like, it doesn't matter. I can switch up the delivery of that song a million ways. Would you guys agree? And I probably won't get one letter wrong. Because it's not about the letters now. The letters are unconsciously memorized. Now I can focus on the delivery and how you hear it, right? And so same thing goes for you guys. Role play is super important. If you guys aren't doing that every day, even 5-10 minutes, something that you want to work on, find a partner. I promise you it's going to be the best investment you can make is in yourself. That's step one, is getting yourself to be able to generate more. And then when you do that, you're going to be able to get your members to take the chances that they need to take in order for them to be able to go up. Because a lot of these guys here that I got to move forward, these guys are going to have better businesses today than they had yesterday because they've moved forward on something that actually makes them money. And if you can't sell them on doing those things as much as you could, you're holding a lot of people back. And you're holding yourself back. Loud rumor, their prospective members that should have signed up that never did, the ripple effect is huge on you guys not being able to get them to buy something that's good for their business. You get what I'm saying? It's way bigger than you think. It goes way past you getting somebody to buy Instagram. That kid now is not having a mother that's in better shape that can go hiking with them because she didn't sign up to the gym that didn't get that lead, to the gym that didn't say yeah, and it just goes from there. That kid now doesn't have a good relationship with his mom or doesn't get in shape, and it goes down. Who knows how far that can go? I know that I work out because my dad worked out. You know, my dad put that in me when I was 8 years old. Advertising, does it cost money or no?
It costs as much as you're not able to make back. So
Yep.
it's not that if you make it back.
Yep, it cost me way more money to not have good results in the advertising. LeBron James just joined the Lakers, right? About a year ago. I don't know what they're paying him. It's obscene. It's like, what, $100-some million, something like that? You know there's a guy in the roster that makes less than $2 million. You guys know that, right? Now, if you, let's say, took LeBron James out and you built that roster up of people that are only $2 million players, the Lakers will make less money. They'll sell less jerseys. They'll have less people come to the games. They'll have to lower ticket prices. They'll have less people buy all the fan stuff. They'll have less people come up to all the events, the pre-workouts, the side workouts. All that stuff is going to go down. LeBron James, who costs them $140 million or whatever it is, actually costs them way less than the $2 million guys, because this guy's getting not only tickets to be sold out, but at 4 or 5 times higher prices. Jerseys are being sold out in every color. Now they're making money off, like, there's Los Lakers. Like, have you seen it? Every jersey out there is being made. They got like 18 Laker jerseys. They're all being sold. All the side games, all the footage, all that stuff. So it's about what you invest into. You can play cheap, and it's gonna cost you way more. Imagine if you guys were the cheapest version of the positions that you guys are in. Instead of hiring you, Mackenzie, I got somebody that is excited about making $12 an hour. She's never made any money. She's excited about $12 an hour. Nobody in her family's making more than $13 an hour. All her friends are making $12, $13 an hour. I got that person running your role. Is that gonna make our company more money or less money? So who costs more, you or her? Exactly. You have to have good things like this in your business. Advertising does not cost you any money. Salespeople do not cost you any money. Okay? Next thing, I've seen also on pause reports, people will pause, yet they have I think yours was one of this. They paused, but they actually had really great results. It was like they invested like, I don't know, $6 grand or $7 grand or something like that, but they made 28 grand. 9 grand, made 28 grand. Is that right? How many of you guys think it's stupid to stop that train? Like, if every time I gave you $9,000 or you gave me $9,000, I deposited $28,000 in your account, how many times would you give me $9,000?
Every time.
As much as you could? Like, would you hire people to just keep depositing it faster? Like, I'd be like, dude, can you guys get in my account and write checks? I need everyone to write this guy a check. I'll pay you $100 each. It doesn't matter, right? So you want to do that as much as you can. This guy didn't get the concept. He was too late. So we need to get it earlier on. When we're talking to people, they need to understand this is what we're ultimately going to be getting, right? Okay, so here's the deal. Alexa, you're working with me. My goal is to make you as much money as I can, grow your business so you can make as much impact as you can, get as many members as possible to sign up with you and change your life. Deal? Yes? I'm going to do my job as best as I can. I need you to do your job as best as you can. Can you do that?
Yeah.
100%?
100%.
If I don't do my job, can you hold me accountable?
Yes.
Do I have permission to do the same? Yes or no?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, great. So right now, if you were to spend $1 with me, how much you need to make back? Period.
$1.
You need to make $1 back. So if you spend $1, you need to make 2? Yeah? Okay. If you spend 10, you need to make 20?
Yeah.
If you spend 100, you need to make 200. So if you spend $9,000, you need to make 18,000? Is that correct? Deal. Okay. How much money do you need to make for you to say, okay, in these next 6 months, what am I doing by saying in the next 6 months? What am I doing first off with that?
Building the relationship.
Extending out the contract. What needs to happen in the next 6 months for you to say this was a victory? We did it. What's the line?
See a return.
Well, clearly.
Money back.
Got it. How much money would you, by that time, let's say in the next 6 months, you spend $12,000 here, okay? If you spend $12,000, you said you need to see a return, so you need to make $24,000 in the next 6 months?
I mean, that'd be nice.
Yeah, okay. Do I have permission to blow that out of the water, yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, if I don't blow that out of the water, can you hold me accountable?
Yes.
If I feel like I'm doing my part, but you're not helping me by closing these deals, can I hold you accountable?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, if I hit that $24,000 in the next 2 or 3 months, can I sell you something better?
Sure.
Or do you want to play small for a little while?
You can sell me something better.
Okay, deal. And if I make it $24,000 again, can I keep selling you more stuff that keeps pushing that faster and harder?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I have swing for the fences people, and then I also have people that want to play Little League for a little while. You sound like a swing for the fences. I like that, so we're going to do that. Perfect. Okay, as soon as I sell you enough to where you make $24,000, as long as you spent less than $12,000, that's the line where I say, I'm going to go ahead and present a great option for her. Is that a fair deal? And if I feel like I can do that sooner by throwing some gas in the fire, if I have an idea, can I bring that to your attention, or do you want me to not tell you any ideas that I've got?
Tell me all the ideas.
Perfect, sounds great. If it means spending a little bit more, but I know it's going to work for you, would you be open to hearing it?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. If I do all these things and I treat you respectfully and we have great conversations, you know I'm truly listening and I'm responsive to your calls when you need to talk to me, Is there anything else that would get you to say, I can't work with Loud Rumor anymore?
No.
Perfect. Sounds like we're going to be working together for a long, long time, unless you break your promise. Sounds great. Okay, outside of that, I'm excited to get started. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I need you to do first, because you said you're going to do everything it takes, right?
Right.
Have you gone to loudrumorleague.com yet?
No.
Okay, I need you to go there right now. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
Do you see it? What do you see?
Facebook group.
Perfect. Go ahead and request to join. Great. Okay, have you already gotten an LRVT? Learning Center.
Yeah, I saw something about it in my inbox.
Okay,
I logged in.
perfect. Do you ever listen to podcasts, Alexa?
Yeah, sometimes.
Perfect. So that means you already listen to them. You have that app on your phone?
Yeah, I got the podcast.
Okay, I'm going to walk you through it. Go to the podcast real quick.
Okay.
Okay, open it up, and I want you to search the GSD show. Tell me when you see it.
Okay, see it.
It'll be a big, handsome picture of Mike.
Okay, see it.
It's the editing. Don't think Mike's that good looking in person. Okay, so go ahead and subscribe to it. I want you to listen in order of most recent down. So don't start with number 1, start with the most recent. It's the most relevant. Deal?
Okay.
When do you think you can listen to your first episode?
Today.
Man, I love it.
Very much.
You see, that's, I need more of you. How many friends you got, Alexa? Do you have any more friends?
Oh yeah, I'll send them all to you.
Perfect, perfect. I know this sound, how many of you guys feel like, I don't know if I'd be able to deliver that like the way Mike does? Okay, how many of you guys think you can? How many of you guys believe, the people that raise your hand says, I don't think I can, how many of you guys believe with practice, you can eventually? So what's that mean? What's the difference right now? Role play, practice. That's it. I role play in the car by myself. I don't need another human. I already, how many of you guys can anticipate what the person's already going to say? So I do it. I do it in my car. I'll role play. Again, I got my own worlds. In my car, I got 3 people in the car that are wanting to say no to me. There's nobody there. That's why I had to get the Tesla, because in my head, I could drive in the carpool lane. I kept getting pulled over. They didn't believe me that there was more people in the car. So I had to get an electric car. All right. Last thing I'm going to do, and this is super important as well. Last one. Jack and Jill went up the... Okay, well, in this case, they went up to the fitness studio. I'm going to talk to you about Jill real quick, because this is important. Jill is a human being, just like all of us. How many of you guys heard the leads suck? Yeah, the leads don't suck. The leads are real human beings. Jill is a real human being. The difference between a good lead, a great lead, right? Somebody that comes in and they're just ready to buy, is that there's usually a Joe or Jack. We'll call him Jack. Jack makes sense. Jack, okay? Jack is a member of yours. Jack works out at your studio. Jack goes up to Jill and tells her everything she needs to know about your studio so she can come in with confidence and pretty much be ready to join. At that point, is it a done deal? You'd have to mess up to not close that deal, right? That's what they call a hot lead. So when people say I close 9 out of 10, that's because you're not doing ads. It's all referral based. Nobody closes 9 out of 10, okay? So, okay, great. You got Jack referring Jill. Jill comes in and buys. Jill is a 33-year-old mother of 2, lives 4 miles away. The only difference between a shitty lead and a great lead is nothing to do with Jill. Who does it have to do with? Jack. Jack's the reason. Jill, if Jack didn't exist, 33-year-old Jill would still have 2 kids, same husband, same house, same job, same food in the fridge, same car in the driveway, same hopes and dreams, same desires. Everything's the same about Jill, with the exception Jack doesn't exist in her life to tell her to come and work out at this place. So in this case, Jill sees the ad instead. Jill fills out that ad, fills out the form on that ad, and then gets into your inbox. And now you go to call Jill, and she's not as sold. Why not? There was no Jack. What Jack did was, Jack took her at the top of the funnel and shoved her down the funnel for you, and all you had to do was pull her out. That was it. In this case, she's sitting at the top of the funnel. You have to push them down, and then you have to pull them out. There's no difference between a shitty lead and a good lead humanly. As far as they're humans, they're the same person. The only difference is one is further down the funnel than the other. That's it. And if you want more good leads, you need more Jacks. What's the first step to get more Jacks? Target Jills. Get more Jills to buy. Jills will get Jacks. Jacks will get more Jills for you. You only have to hustle really hard for the first 3 to 6 months. You only have to go through that grind really hard for the first 3 to 6 months. After that, if you've really done your job and you've done everything you could do to get as many Jacks to turn into Jills to turn into Jacks, Jacks will start bringing you Jills at a higher rate. You want more hot leads, which come from member referrals. What's one thing that you can do? Get more members. And also have a really good process to get your members to refer people, right? Actively, not reactively. So remember that when people tell you there's shitty leads or the leads suck, it's a human being that just didn't get shoved down the funnel yet. I'm sorry that Jack didn't exist for you here, but you got to play Jack for this role. And you've got to get them to do it. It's not a layup here. Does that make sense? There's no shitty leads. Do you guys agree with that? Yes? Okay, outside of that, we're all wrapped up for today. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, or YouTube. And to watch more episodes and get exclusive links from each episode, go to gsdshow.com.